Paul, good to see you. So we were just hearing there about the tech story. Let's start on the tech story with you. What are you going to be watching for as we see this huge reporting season get underway for these big US tech players? We were just hearing from Neil Campling, who was talking about how it's the link between top-line growth and CapEx plans that's going to be really important.
Yeah, good morning, Anna. That is definitely something that investors are going to be on the lookout for, with 5 of the 7 names from the Magnificent Seven reporting plenty of earnings coming out of Asia as well. It's our busiest week of the cycle coming up. So I think that is one thing that we want to see. Are they starting to make money to realize some profits from the AI efforts that are being put in place? Watch out for any announcements on jobs as well. We've seen some job cuts coming through in some of the major tech companies recently. But at 3, and I think this is interesting and important as well, where are we on the funding? It seems that narrative's gone a little bit quieter, actually, that now there's a little bit more enthusiasm in the credit sector for people lending for those data centers to be built again. And that was something that we were worried about at the back end of last year. Remember, some of those funding deals, even the larger ones, seem to be getting done and going through. We're still seeing those sort of inter-Nissan deals as well, those tie-ups that are building that sort of web ever closer together. But can the market take down all of the debt that's needed in order to build out the data centers? And also, what are they going to say about energy costs, and how are they going to get around that? Because the war in Iran has certainly put a lens back on that problem as well.
Paul, there's a lot of central banks reporting this week as well, delivering decisions. But those decisions are largely expected to be unchanged decisions. What am I going to learn? What do you think the market wants to learn from the central bankers this week? What narrative would it like to hear?
Yeah, so I think that the bond market is worried, right? Worried about what the central banks are going to do. Kind of worried if they don't do anything, and worried if they do too much as well. The central banks, sort of had been moving maybe towards more loosening, at least for the Federal Reserve at the start of this year. Now we're worried about more tightening. But if the central banks do nothing, then that could let inflation out of the bag as well and hurt the back end of the yield curve. So traders will be focusing very much on how they're going to be projecting what's coming going forwards. As you said, Guy, I don't think that anybody's expecting any of the central banks, and we do have all of the G7 central banks meeting this week. Don't think any of them are actually going to act this week. And that sort of sets off slightly different results, though. For the Fed, it's a little bit up in the air anyway, because it's likely to be Jerome Powell's final meeting potentially as chair. So we may have a new lineup come the next Fed meeting. So I will see what the individual voices have to say there. For Europe, seems like Christine Lagarde is likely to telegraph a hike in the coming ECB meeting. So that may support the euro and weigh on European government bonds, which have been underperforming a little bit, under a little bit of pressure already. I think Japan as well is really important. What are they going to say? How do they manage to support the yen and give the idea that they will react, while at the same time, and the BOJ always does this, bottling it a little bit, sitting on their hands and not hiking when they have an opportunity to go ahead and do it now?